Tomatoes are the most widely grown vegetables in home gardens around the country today, and there's a good reason why. Let me demonstrate. This is not a tomato. Well, technically it is a tomato, but it's not the kind of tomato you want. This thing has been bred to have a thick skin and to withstand extremely long shipping times as it travels across the world into your grocery store. This is the reason why people like to grow vegetables at home. Once you've tasted a homegrown tomato, you can never go back again. To grow tomatoes at home, you need plants in your garden. And you can't just throw the seeds on the ground and expect them to grow. You need to start the seeds early, indoors, or buy the plants from a local garden center or hardware store. Now, the advantage to starting the seeds yourself is that you have access to thousands of heirloom and open pollinated varieties of tomatoes. I highly recommend it. There's a rich history of tomatoes, and you should really check into this. Now, to start the seeds indoors, you want to find out when is your last frost date. That's the day that you're not going to have any more frost. Back up and plant your seeds indoors about 6 to 8 weeks before that date. That way, by the time the frost is over with, your tomato plants will be the perfect size to go into your garden. Starting seeds is easy, and there's no reason to be intimidated by it. All you need is a system of grow lights like I've got right here. You can do it in your laundry room or your kitchen or anywhere where you have a spare place. Set up the grow lights, and then get some containers like these. Put some soil in, get your tomato seeds, and just put a few in for each cell. Just drop them right in. And then cover them up. Water them really well. And then put them directly underneath of the grow lights and lower the light down so it's as low as it possibly can go. Check it, make sure that it stays nice and moist, but not too wet. Make sure that there's good airflow in the room. And after about 6 weeks, you will have this. Tomatoes ready for the garden. Now that your tomato seedlings are 6 to 8 weeks old, it's time to put them into the garden. Now, when choosing the site for your tomatoes, make sure that it's an area that gets at least 10 hours of sunlight every day. Tomatoes need a lot of sun. In addition to that, tomatoes need consistent water. That means never too much irrigation and never too little. Installing tomatoes is easy. Just make sure you dig a nice, generous hole, plenty deep. Because what you're going to do is you're going to install this guy all the way up to the top of the plant so that just the top set of leaves are really showing. What this is going to do is it's going to make the stem produce roots, and this is going to be a much healthier and happier and robust plant. Now, as your tomatoes start to grow, they're going to lay flat, set their fruit, and the fruit is going to rot on the ground. The solution is you need to support the plants in an upright position. There's basically 3 choices: staking, fancier staking, or my favorite is caging. Now with staking, you can just get any kind of a straight rod. Bamboo works really well. Stake it into the ground right next to the tomato, and as the tomato grows up, tie it to the rod. Now as tomatoes branch out, you're going to need to cut off of those extra branches. So this is basically a fancier stake. You plant your tomato in there, and as it grows up, you're just going to tie it to these sides, and you will have to cut off all the extra branches just like you would with a regular stake. Really nice. The cage is the best solution for me. It's large, you can make it any way you want to. I made 40 of these out of a $100 roll. That came out to $2.50 each, and they last forever. Now, with the cage, make sure you put a bar of rebar in the ground, and that keeps it nice and strong so that when high winds come, it won't blow over. So find a different use for these store-bought fake tomatoes, and rest easy knowing that soon your vegetable garden will produce beautiful, delicious tomatoes, vine ripened. Now, what are we going to do with this?